Let go, let go, and now be all that you can be. Let go, and now be all that you can be. Oh God, thank you for being in this place. That's what we long for. Father God, we're here today. We made it. From last Sunday to now, no matter trials, tribulations we've been going through this past whole week, we are here today to serve you, Lord, to give you glory. You are worthy, hallelujah. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Will you meet us here as we call on your name? feel you, Lord. Make changes in this place, Father God, for your glory, for your benefit, Father God. It's all about you. It's all about you. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close.
Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence, Lord.
me one banana, I will hang with this group. And if I wanted to be one fisherman, I'll hang with this group. Everything that was offered from the world, if I wanted to be a part of, or to be accepted, my identity, for you to accept my identity, I had to become something. So I will be accepted to whatever it is. Then Jesus comes along and he tells, follow me. And instead of you being fishermen, I'm going to make you fisher of men. Yeah, I was a drug addict in times past. Jesus comes along and said, son, follow me, and I'm going to make you a pharmacist instead of being a drug addict. That's just the way how Jesus is. Anytime he comes in a picture, he always seems to change us into something better. He always justifies us. He doesn't see us as a drug addict or an alcoholic or something that we feel that the world has made us to become, to be a part of. He always sees us as something better. And I thank him for that. Because I am what I am today, and you are what you are today, because he decided for not accept who you thought you was. It was his choice. But then somewhere along the line, we had to meet him first. Did I tell you this in the morning? Or I just went straight into the word? I forgot. But I'd like to bless each and everyone who the first time coming. Welcome to our family. Inspire Chapel. May God bless you for coming. You know that if it is true that God is beginning and the author finisher of all things, you know that all of you who just made it today, it wasn't a happy chance. Today is your day. The reason why you're here today is because God said today is your day. This is the day for you that God has made. Let us rejoice and be glad. Let's give God a hand clap of praise for His grace. Oh, Apostle Bobby, don't single me out. Everybody knows that I just came. That's how important you are. God made this day special just for you, for sure. Say amen, brother. Amen. Joel, you and your family, say amen. Ron and Kelly, say amen. It's not a happy chance you guys here today. From the day that you was even thought of being in your mother's womb, God had already predestined you to be right here today in this building. It wasn't a happy chance. God loves you so much, He made this day special just for you, for me. Yeah, I know that we stay having a baby shower for Precious Amelia Grace, my granddaughter. But she's been here. She's blessed. But those of you that are here today, just know how important you are. That today is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made for you. Hallelujah. I've been battling this thing back and forth. What should I do this morning? So we're talking about identity. And I guess what I'm going to share with you is the question, who am I? Or who are you? Like I said, most people have never asked themselves this question, and this is a problem because we see a lot of people being people they are not. You wear things like Michael Kors and Gucci, Nike. These are what you put on. The reason why you put them on is because they're going to be a part of something. If you really think about it. I get my stuff from Safeway. So if you're spending $200 for your Gucci or your Michael Kors bag, I buy them from someplace else. That is cheaper. I just make a joke about it. Because we tend to always identify ourselves as what we buy or what the world has to offer for us, for make us seem like we're more better than somebody else. When you get the $120 or $200 bag and somebody else has the $20 bag, we're trying to be somebody that we are not. We're talking about identity crisis. Why? Because we got stolen, our identity got stolen, and we're going to get there. I'm trying to take my time on this one because I don't want to offend nobody. Lady Donna always tells me after every message that I had from the time to be in this place, you've offended someone. Thank you. Hallelujah. I never come for offend nobody, I just came for speak truth. So society presents identity options of what is acceptable. So to be accepted, we become something we were never meant to be, just so we can be accepted. So we put on the identities to feel important. Let me share something with you. When you look back and you look at genealogy, everybody always talks about genealogy. Who am I? So you go back genealogy, and the farthest you can probably go back is Kamamea. I just kidding. You look as far back on your genealogy, as far you can go. But somewhere, there's a missing space inside of you. Because you know that you go back way further than that. Excuse me? I heard something. I was like, no, that's a lady's voice, that's not God. I'm not going to listen to that one. I just... So we never ask ourselves who we are. If we try to ask ourselves, it'll come on blank, just like I am right now. Because I've looked back there. Where did I come from? I can see my mom, I see my dad. This is not about ethnicity, people. This is about origin. Back to the original time. I respect the fact that I have been born Kanakamo'ole, and with a slice of Filipino. But I know it doesn't end there. It goes way further than that. It goes so far that this has to come into play in the town. This is the only place I can find answers. You guys know, my two favorite chapters is Genesis chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 2. Why? Because that is the foundation of when everything started. I don't like no repercussion. I don't like know what happens after. I want to know when everything began. So with that being said, let us turn to Genesis chapter 1, and we're going to look at verse 26 to 28 really quickly. I'm going to try not to take too much time so we can have our fellowship thereafter for my granddaughter, Amelia and Grace. Ofa, can I have the water, please? There's such a beautiful, sovereign presence of God in this place. I pray that you guys open your heart, open your mind to receive this today. It's very important. As we speak, many of you are wondering who you are, just because I said it. So let's go back to our original Genesis chapter 1, 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over fish of the sea, the birds, I just figured cattle, and let us have dominion over all the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish and the birds and over every living thing. Everybody say amen. We have an image. This is in the beginning of this word that was written 4,000 some odd years ago. God created us in his image. If you was wondering where your origin came from, was it from mom, dad? Was it from the latest of you found what you found in genealogy? This is your origin. When God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, this is your origin. Everybody say amen. When you say amen, that means you have accepted the fact that this God is your creator. God is a spirit. So when he created you, and he said, let us create man in our image and in our likeness, if God is spirit, then you were first spirit. Amen. You see this thing that I'm talking about that we're looking at, you're looking at right now? Called a plum. This was made after. This was a shell that was made when God said, when God came to the cool of the day and he grabbed the dust of the earth mixed with the mist and he molded, the Bible says he molded, and he molded man. He molded one shell and then he blew into man the spirit of life. That is you. Hallelujah. This body right here is just a shell to house who you really are. Oh yeah, you look good in all the clothes you're wearing and this and that, but that is not you. God is spirit. God made you a spirit and he put you in a shell. Hallelujah. Glory to God. And he gave you his image and he gave you dominion. That is what you was given. So if you don't know who you are today and have not found out who you are yet, then the dominion does not follow you. It's important to know that. Because as soon as you find out who you are, then you will start finding out that, wow, this dominion came with me. And that's that same dominion that the Holy Ghost has been planted inside you that says, cancer, leave. In the mighty name of Jesus, you are subject to me. Hallelujah. That's that same dominion God has given you from the beginning. It is here, residing today, and it's in you today. You don't have to tolerate the things you've been tolerating with. Aren't you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Me too. Hallelujah. No weapon formed against us and this church shall never prosper. We have dominion. God has given us at the beginning of time, he said, and give them dominion over all the earth. That is verse 26. And then he goes on to 28 and says, give him dominion again. He said it twice. 2 times. When God says something twice, that means you better hear it. Amen. Hallelujah. That means you somebody. That's why when God comes up in this place and we're praising God and he's here, I honor that. Because he can be the next church over and not here. Who am I? Thank you, Lord, for your dominion. Thank you, Lord, for your image. So here's a goldsmith. A goldsmith handles gold. I can't use them because it brings rash on my neck. I can use lead though. I can put lead around my neck. But silver and gold, I cannot. Praise God. Hallelujah. Well, a goldsmith deals with gold. What he does is he grabs all these rocks of gold, or these nuggets of gold, and he puts it in a pot. And he puts fire to it. Puts fire, makes it hotter, and the gold starts to melt. Then everything melts, and all you can see is gold, and something that floats on the top of this gold. And then the goldsmith goes with a spoon and he touches it on the top, and he starts moving these things on the top, and then the gold he's looking at starts coming shiny. So he takes out all these things, what they call inconsistencies. Fishermen know because we deal with lead. I just leave all the rubbish in the lead. We'll throw it in the ocean anyway. But if you really make your lead enough to sell, right? You sell the lead, now you gotta take out all those inconsistencies on the top. So you take out the goldsmith, he takes it all out. And he hits it on the ground, and he takes it, he puts more fire, and the gold comes pure. The more fire he puts to this gold, the more pure. The more fire, the more the inconsistencies burn, float to the top. He takes it out and he does it. That's how you get 14 karat gold to 20 to all this higher. Because he puts the fire and he takes out all these inconsistencies. This is how a goldsmith can tell that the gold has reached its purest form. Is he looks over the pot and looks for his image. When he sees his image clear from his reflection and looking at the gold, then he knows the gold is pure. To our life, when God puts the fire in our life, it's not to kill you. He's trying to bring out his image in you. For why, Lord, have you put me in this situation? I don't deserve this. Why this and boo-hoo this and I can't do it. You know what? I just gonna go back to the world and go do my things that I used to do. And all God is trying to do is to bring out his image, the same image that he started out in Genesis 1. Hallelujah. He wants to bring you back to a place or give you back the identity that you had from the beginning when time first existed. He's trying to bring you back. But he needs to get out all that junk out of you, which is the inconsistencies that is not good for your life. It's not good for you, and it's not good for the people that love you, that are around you. He needs to get rid of it. It's not just about you. It's about everybody that comes in contact with you, who depends on you, who needs you, that you need to let your light shine for them, so you can bring them and show them what they are or who they are. Hallelujah. I know some of you are young in here, teens, and you don't get it, but I thank God that your mom and dads or your families are here, that they can show you and build an image of God for you, so you can be an image for everybody that's in your age, and not be lost out there wondering, who am I? And I'm going to hit this right on his head, because it was because of who I didn't know who I was, or you not knowing who you are, that started all these problems in the first place. Think about it. Come on, guys, think about it. The only reason why you would drink and do drugs is because you never know who you was. If you really knew who you was, you wouldn't have done it because it's not you. The only reason why you and your wife stayed in a situation in your marriage is just because you guys never know who you guys was. It wasn't your wife and it wasn't you. You guys just never know who you guys was. Yeah, don't blame yourself. I mean, you guys get a part for doing it, but if you really knew who you was, then your wife would have known who you was. And then she could have been who she was, because she knew who you was. And then your marriage would have worked. Just think about it. Just for a little bit. We're talking about identity. Identity crisis was the repercussion because somebody stole your identity, and we're going there. But we need to work on some things like how we did last time. We're just working on things because we like better our lives. Check this out. Where am I from? That's one of the questions that we need to ask ourselves. Not Mars, guys. Excuse me. Again, where you're from has nothing to do with ethnicity. Genesis 2, 6, and 7 explains it. We're talking about origin, the beginning. When God created you, He created you from the earth. Spirit and earth. Real simple. God, spirit, heaven, man from earth. Man is not ruler over heaven. Man was made from earth. Man is ruler and have dominion over earth. Simple, huh? As long as we know that, we're good. That's where we're from. We're from earth. How about this question? Why am I here? Okay, thank you. Why am I here? What is the purpose? What is the original purpose of the reason why I'm here? Okay, check this out. In Genesis, we always go back to the foundation. And I always go here, I always reiterate back to Genesis chapter 1 and 2. We was given this authority. We was given this dominion for what? For have dominion over the birds, for have dominions over all the fish, the cattle, and every beast that walking upon this earth. That's what God gave us dominion over. But He never did give us dominion over man. Amen. He never did give us rulership over man. That is the original purpose. He was made to take care and be sole caretakers of the earth. Read Genesis chapter 1 and 2, and that's what it's going to tell you. That God made you to have dominion, to multiply over the earth. That was the purpose. I will share one scripture with you, and I'd like you guys turn there. John chapter 10, verse 10. Please turn there. If you guys don't have it, then I'm going to speak it up. Why I'm talking about identity crisis and identity theft, actually, I should call it identity theft, is because the reason why we don't know our identity is because somebody stole it, and I will show you where. If you dare say amen. John chapter 10, it says, the thief cometh not, but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. And Jesus said, I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. The devil main objective is to steal, kill, and destroy. He's the one that stole your identity. In Genesis chapter 1 and 2, God and man dwelt together. Genesis chapter 3, he comes up to Eve and makes a powerful to her. She tells Satan, she tells him, I cannot partake of that fruit, of the knowledge of good and evil. Because God said, as soon as I do, I die. He said, not even. You're not going to die. The reason why he doesn't want you to partake of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil is because you're going to become like him. That was a suggestion to her. She said, wow, I like to be like God. So she goes, she partakes of the fruit. She lost that image that day. Adam and Eve lost the image of God, and they lost the dominion. Because of this sly snake. People think he could steal my car, my money, this and that. No. See, when he steals your image and he steals your dominion, he already stole your car and your house and everything you own. See, it was important to God because in the beginning, God said, let's make us, make man in our image and our likeness. That's the first thing he did. Then he gave you dominion. Satan came to take the first things from origin he deals with. He don't deal with things nowadays. He don't care about what you're going through nowadays. He just wants your image. As long as he can keep God's image out of your face, he's already won. But everybody has been so stuck in this world, and it's not our fault. The world has been offering this. He has been doing this for years, and he's been doing the same thing over and over and over. All you have to do is make powerful suggestions just for turning you away from the image of God. That's all he's doing. The minute you say, who am I? He has you already. If you don't know who you are, basically that's what, you just lost your identity. You just stolen your identity. That's why it's important to you. You know why? When God tossed him out, he went up to God. When God was doing some work, I believe I shared Tuesday, Satan came up. He was Lucifer at the time. Let me tell you about Lucifer. Lucifer is Satan now on earth. Lucifer in heaven, he was the most beautifulest angel. He had the most beautifulest voice, the Bible explains in Isaiah. He was so beautiful, he was second to God. He led the choir to praise and worship. Now we know God needs to be worshiped and praised 24/7, 365 days out of the year. God needs to always be praised and worshiped. Well, Lucifer was the head of that. He steered that. So Gabriel was in charge of all the warring angels, 1/3. Michael was in charge of the warring angels, 1/3. And Satan was in charge of the praise and worship team, 1/3. But when praise and worship time came, Lucifer was in charge of the 3/3. Because every angel was created for praise God and do God's will. So in other words, Lucifer had more authority than Michael and Gabriel. Then here he comes because of pride. Isaiah chapter 14 verse 12 says, how thou art fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in his heart, and this is what Lucifer said before he came to Satan. He said, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Number 3, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the side of the north. This is the proclamation of Lucifer. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. Number 5, I will be like the Most High God. Lucifer tried to be like God. He tried to be something and identify himself as something that he wasn't. Sounds familiar, guys? Yeah, it sounds familiar. I know, because I was trying to identify me as everything else but me. And that's why when he came to the Garden of Eden, that was his sneaky, that's what he did. He did that to man. God's greatest prize, God's greatest creation. He went up to him and he said, if you partake of that, you shall be like God. The same words that he used against God. And when she partook of them, she lost her image and Adam lost the image. And so we have an identity crisis. We find out from Genesis chapter 3, all the way until the Gospels, we find out man still trying to figure out their identity. I believe the Holy Ghost is speaking to us today, just the particular, just the specific, because it's going to start from here. If we can find out and we can actually admit and confess that Jesus is Lord, which we do, hallelujah, and we start acting like who we are, then maybe the world is going to start seeing people, real people, for God. Yeah. I had one scripture that came to me, and hallelujah. Praise God. Here it is, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 4. And this is what it says. You don't need to turn there. It says, in whom the God of this world had blinded the minds. The God of this world is Satan, okay? In whom the God of this world had blinded the minds of them which believe not, the light of the glorious gospel of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. So, who is Paul talking about? Lest the light of the glorious gospel of Christ. Isn't that awesome? Didn't Jesus Christ say, go ye therefore in all the nations, preaching the gospel to every soul, to the end of the earth? Only we can bring the image of God to everybody out there. Welcome to your responsibility. If we can find out our identity, then the people out there has a chance of receiving who they are. We are to duplicate ourselves. Hallelujah. That's what we are here to do today. We are to duplicate ourselves. So if you wonder why you are here, when Satan screwed everything up in chapter 3, just remember, 1 and 2 was your origin. As long as we stay in Genesis chapter 1 and 2, we'll be fine. Because what did I tell you guys the last time? Genesis chapter 1 and 2 was God's perfect plan and purpose. Satan, chapter 3, took away that plan and purpose. He messed them all up. Does that mean God's plan and purpose is the ending? No. God's still looking at Genesis chapter 1. Everything that he's doing is going all the way to Revelation just to come right back for do Genesis chapter 1 and 2 again. Hallelujah. And that's why we are here. Now I explained the other week. We all have been placed inside of us. When God created each and every one of us with his image, he instilled in each and every one gifts and talents. And I said this before. He instilled in you everything that you need to go through today. He gave you everything that you're going to need for whatever you're going to go through. He gave you everything. He instilled everything. He never just made one body. He made you spirit just like himself. And everything in that spirit that he blew life into you came with gifts and talents that is needed in this church today. So it's not only about the image, it's about what you need to accomplish in your life. Everybody has potential, so much potential in their body, just because of this living God that we serve, this loving God that we serve, this dominion and this image that we have. We just need to come back to know who we are. The last question I like to say is just, our destiny. The devil seems to think that our destiny is hell, but it's not. I just said it. Our destiny is to do what God wants us to do and come right back to Genesis chapter 1 and 2. That's why a lot of people I heard mention that, heaven is their destiny. And I've said, and I don't want to offend nobody, but we came from earth and that's where we're going to end up on earth. Everybody say amen. We need to realize and acknowledge that he is the creator and of all things that he created, and that includes you. In doing so, we can begin to have a peace of mind and accept that God is in control of everything and that he has the best interest in all of his creation. I'm almost done. Satan stole our identity. He's a thief. Just maybe about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I looked on, and you guys done this before, I looked on Credit Karma, check out the status on my credit, and I found out that I had one $10,600 bill that came and wrecked my credit. And it said the name of who I owed the money to. Apostle, evangelist, pastor, teacher, prophet. When somebody steals your identity and tries to do something like that, you really gotta get down on your knees and pray. It took me 5 years to fix my credit, and somebody just went in there and just wrecked it. Oh yeah, Lady Donna was on her knees 24/7 praying for me. I was so upset. I called the company, and I told them, what is this bill for? And they told me, are you Hugh? I said, yes. Is your last name Haupu? I said, yes. Is your wife's name so and so? I said, no, wrong wife. Told them my wife's name. They said, I'm a liar. I said, you lucky I cannot crawl through this phone. That's what I was saying, apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher. Sometimes you just really got somebody to pray for you. So pray for your apostles all the time. We really we're not perfect. We still put in the goldsmith. We're still in the pot boiling. So I was kind of upset. I'm not one for curse or anything. So not that. It's just the Bible says be angry, but sin not. But I was upset because I was like high, and I ended up losing like maybe 67 points. 67 points. I went from fabulous to just about good. So I told them, gave them all my information, and went back and forth with this group. And they checked over. I said, type in this, type in this. Can you see that guy right there in front of you in your computer? That's me. So I said, I get 3 numbers over here from the 3 different credit bureaus, and I'm going to call them and I'm going to tell them that your company is credit fraud. And I did. I put them up, the credit company doesn't want to deal with them. They just go and grab the name, say Haupu, grab the name, put them inside there, and stuck on $10,600 bill. Please don't mess with my identity outside of God. Don't make me and picture me out to be someone that I'm not. And I thank God that He took care of it. And He blessed me. The 3 companies doesn't do it, and in a couple of days they just take that thing right off, and my credit is straight back up to where it is. Hallelujah. Let's give God praise. We're talking about identity. So the enemy, this is Revelation. The enemy is the one who steals your identity. The repercussion of identity theft is identity crisis. Please find out who you are. You guys know you are children of God. Read Genesis chapter 2. It'll tell you everything of your origin of where you come from. The world has nothing for you. You don't have to be accepted by them to be accepted by God. And I'm not believing it, because God said, for God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, His only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in Him shall not but have. Amen. He loves the world, but the world doesn't control us. The world needs people with the image of God so they can go out there and they can see what real image of God. That's why we need to deal with this identity thing. We cannot be here only Sunday Christians. The world watching you. I see my neighbors eating with their binoculars looking at my house. If they are, we're not taking this easy. Watch what Peter said. This is what Peter said. He said, be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walking about seeking whom he may devour. Oh my God. And what do you think he coming for yet? Your identity. Here we have Apostle Apostle Peter identifying your adversary, the devil, walking about as a lion, searching for prey or somebody he can devour. These are spirits that work 24/7. All they know their main objective is to destroy the image. How about that one? 24/7. 365 days out of the year. These spirits just come and look and go around looking whom they can devour by stealing your identity. That's all he does. The guys is perfect. They're 100% perfect at destroying your image and taking away your dominion. That's all they do. We get hard time even coming to church Sundays and Tuesdays. These guys, they're not bound by time. They don't know anything else but this. They don't do anything else but this. This is their main objective, is to destroy you. But by stealing your identity. Father God, we just give you all glory, all honor, and praise. We pray that you help us to show us the power of the Holy Spirit that dwelleth in us. Reveal to us our true self. Make us invincible to these things that supposed to identify us. But we don't want to be identified as anything that has to do with the enemy. We want to be identified as your image. Help us, Lord, Father God. Make the way. Give us insight. Show us who we are, Father God, in you. Give us the strength for us that we can walk towards these things that you need us to be. We thank you, Lord, for being our God and our King. We thank you. We thank you for allowing us to be your children, Father God. We thank you for bestowing your image upon us, Father God. thank you. Help us to reach everyone by showing them their true identity, Father God. And we just bless you. We just thank you for your loving word. I pray that your word goes forth and it seals itself in every heart and every mind that has accepted this. We are no longer subject to identity crisis. We are no longer subject to identity theft. We have confessed, you know who we are. We are your children, Father God. And we are inhabitants of your kingdom today, Lord Jesus. And we thank you. And we give you all glory, honor, and praise. And everyone say amen. Thank you, Lord. Let's give you praise. Thank you guys for your guys' time. I pray that this will help you to move forward